waiving Dame Lillard and reaching a 4-year, $107 million deal with former Pacer big man Miles Turner. It's been a bit over 24 hours since Shams broke the news in Milwaukee. With a day to digest now, let's ask you guys what you think. Brian, what'd you make of it?
Well, I thought it was very creative, full points for creativity and audacity.
If you're scoring in gymnastics.
ESPN Bet, they put out the odds after it, and the Bucks have the 8th best odds.
Wow.
To win the East.
Oof.
Oh.
So my concern, if I'm a Bucks fan, I really appreciate ownership doing this. Let me just say, as a Cleveland Browns fan, it was kind of risky for Deshaun Watson to be traded for 3 first-round picks and then be given the largest guaranteed contract in the history of the sport. Jimmy Haslam is the same owner. He owns the Bucks, one of the co-owners of the Bucks, and to do the biggest buyout in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's audacious. My concern for their forthcoming pitch to Giannis to want to be there long-term is that it didn't move the needle enough. And that's nothing against Miles Turner, who is an excellent player in his prime.
It's the rest of the roster.
It's just to do what they did, which was their last card to play, and an extremely penal card to, maybe move the ball along the football analogy just a few yards down the field. Yeah, I'm a little bit, squeamish about that.
Well, I would say this. We look at rosters when you're in the front office in a 3-year window, especially under this collective bargaining agreement. You have to strategize not just for now, but for the future. When you're looking at it in a situation for Milwaukee, it's day to day.
Yeah.
That's how you have to do it. I mean, especially when you have a generational player like Giannis on your roster. Some people called it reckless. Some people called it desperation. I would have done it.
Yeah.
I would have done it. And you know what I would have said? Someone else can clean up my mess 3 years from now.
Yeah.
When I'm not here because Giannis just left.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said. And it's a huge number. It's $23 million that will never leave. It's not, we can't trade that player.
Yeah.
It's $23 million. Now, for the rest of the roster, that's going to be, we'll see what happens here, but you had to go out and do that. 5 years, $22.5 million, because they, as Brian said, there was no other rabbit in the hat to pull out. There was no other card to play. There was no draft picks that you were going to trade there.
Well, Ramona, I'll tee you up then. Have they done enough in regards to ultimately keeping Giannis in Milwaukee?
I mean, he's the only one who's going to know that, and my sense is, just from conversations around, I don't think anything will be decided on his end until August, September, because big deals or anything like that, whether he goes or stays, that kind of decision doesn't come until later in the summer. But for me, we have teams in the NBA right now, and they all have a choice. There's a new CBA. Do you want to be disciplined or do you want to be aggressive? Because we all sat up here last year. We were talking, the Philadelphia 76ers won the offseason. Right. What are the Clippers doing, letting Paul George go for nothing? Remember that? Mm-hmm. I think I tried to defend the Clippers a little, saying, look, it's a new CBA. The second apron is like winter is coming. They understood how serious it was. And guess what? The Clippers look pretty smart right now. They look pretty smart right now for being disciplined. But also, I know where Bobby is too. When you have a generational superstar, how do you sleep at night? If he leaves and you didn't do everything and you didn't play every card that you can play to try to keep that guy, even if it's not the best hand. They don't have the best hand. This is like, if you're a poker player, this is like Jack 10 offsuit.
Yeah.
Okay? But sometimes you hit a flop. Maybe they'll hit a flop. Maybe the price for Giannis would be too high. No one will want to do it. Maybe they can keep him through the trade deadline and they can go on a run. That's what you got to do.
We'll see how it all unfolds for sure. I don't think, to your point, I don't think anyone really knows, but only Giannis will have to figure that out for us, and we'll see how that goes from there. But let's talk about Dame at this point and what the next steps are for him as he gets ready to return. Mark, you've been all over the reporting on Dame. What do you feel are some potential landing spots for Dame?
Well, I don't have a bam or a boom, but I got a list.
Okay, right. There we go.
There you go. Let's go with a wild card. You want to throw a wild card?
Sure, let's start with the wild card.
I got a top 5.
Okay.
My wild card is the Blazers.
Whoa!
The Blazers, yes.
Whoa!
Dame has quietly gotten better graces with them.
Okay.
That's a move that's like probably a last resort. I just want to be home. I want to be close to my kids. I just want to rehab. It's easy.
Training there right now?
It's a wild card. It's not top 5. Top 5. Number 5. Celtics. The Boston Celtics. You know, there's another guy right there you just saw that Dame could rehab with.
Yeah.
In terms of the Achilles, they're good friends. If you think about it, 2 years from now, what is that team with Dame at point guard? They're a championship caliber team again. All right, number 4, your Los Angeles Lakers. Woo! I know Ramona's excited about that. How does it work? I don't know. Not a lot
of defense out there on the guard spots is what I would say.
LeBron was recruiting him to the Lakers 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Brian brought him into his house. Remember that?
Yeah.
All right, now number 3, this might be the sexiest one. Houston Rockets, obviously they got Fred VanVleet. What an addition Dame could be for a team that is probably had the greatest offseason. Add him, we'll see. Number 2, his hometown, the team he grew up with, watched in Oracle Arena, his Golden State Warriors. It's been a dream of Aaron Goodwin, his agent, and for Dame to possibly wear that Golden State jersey one day. Keep an eye on the hometown team, and think of him and Steph shooting together. Wow. Number 1, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Whoa!
Number 1.
Okay.
I just got
Minnesota
goosebumps.
Timberwolves would
Number
be an
1.
amazing pick.
Woo!
All due respect to Michael Conley. If they brought him in, running point next to Ant, imagine the shooting in that backcourt. Imagine the boost that Minnesota would get. Imagine Mike coming in behind him. Brian, you're looking at me.
I see him. He's tapping his
gosh.
fingers.
You're
That's
looking
something
at me,
I hadn't
Brian.
considered.
Wow.
That's a good one.
But he
That's something I
and
haven't
Ant-Man got a
considered.
relationship. Him to Minnesota, they were in the West Finals.
Yeah.
That could be big.
I mean, you all heard our reaction on television. We all went, whoa, when you dropped the number 1. Because, again, I don't think any of us saw that coming.
Well, remember, we got to let Dame rehab.
And this is my picks. I'm not saying this is what Dame.
Yeah, something tells me that
I think you're fairly well
you're not unsure.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota makes a ton of sense. But really, you have to make sure he's okay. We always saw that he's obviously rehabbing. It's great to see him on the 0G. He's already starting to run again or walk or whatever. It's only early July. He just had that injury in April. You'd want to see where he's at, but let's just be honest. If Dame is able to come back and play and is a late season addition to a team, that's a potential game-changing.
Yes.
That's something that you could take a team that's in, near the top and put them over the top.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to put pressure on him. I don't want to make any assumptions. But man, that is one of the biggest things that's going to be on the horizon during the season.
Well, we saw it with the Lakers, right? They were like toiling in the play-in. Luka ends up on the team. They were the 3 seed.
Well, and I think also he doesn't have to make a decision now.
Yeah.
I mean, he could sit back and see where the season shakes
And
out.
I'm told they're going to be patient. Aaron told me there's no rush.
Like, why not wait till December or January?
Aaron Goodwin is
that
agent,
long.
just for people that don't know. Yes.
Well, I mean, but I would want to see how the season plays out. I would want to see where the team, which team could I help, and let me see where he is in his rehab. Obviously, he's coming back at All-Star break. I mean, that sounds optimistic to me. But if that's a possibility, then let's see go where they need you. Go where the team that's best positioned to sign you is.
And it's not going to be the team that has the highest money. Remember,
He doesn't need it.
He's not giving back money to Milwaukee.
But I am told that teams are being creative in what they could try to offer.
Okay. Fair enough. Certainly something to keep an eye on for
Yeah.
sure. Lots of stuff coming out of Milwaukee.